Hello, welcome to BioanthroStudies. I'm Vanessa Campanache, a bioanthropological researcher. In this video, I'm going to talk about young women that glow in the dark due to an occupational hazard in the United States at the beginning of the 20th century. People called them the Ghost Girls for their ghostly appearance. The guilty party was radium. Therefore, they were also known as the Radium Girls. Radium is an alpha-emitting radioisotope created naturally as a decay product of uranium and discovered in 1898 by Marie and Pierre Curie. Radium at the time was considered a marvel product, beneficial for people's daily life and health. It all started when radium was publicized as the miracle cure for cancer. This craze for radium led to the production of beauty creams, toothpastes, candies, sodas, tonics, and medicine for a lot of maladies. But not all products advertised as a radium product contained radium, as this element was scarce and expensive. Radium was also one of the components of glow-in-the-dark paints. For self-luminous dials for watches, clocks, and military instruments, with 3 factories in the United States. Those factories employed mostly women as dial painters. They would sit in rows and quickly paint as they were paid by the number of dials painted. Due to dials' small size and repercussions for not painting within limits, workers were told to use their mouths to tipping the brush. Some workers even cleaned the brushes with their mouths. They could paint 250 to 300 dials per day and tip the brush between 1 to 15 times per dial, implicating they would ingest radium daily. Management did not disclose the paint components, and when asked, they told nothing to worry about it. Workers would also mix the paint, putting radium powder, which part of it would be dispersed into the table, to their hands, clothes, making them glow in the dark. Unaware of the risks, they would also paint themselves for fun after their shift. Most of the ingested radium would be excreted from the body, but a portion would be absorbed into the bloodstream and would deposit into the skeleton. With time, dial painters started to feel its effects. Their symptoms were initially confused with phossy jaw or syphilis, as they would suffer tooth loss and osteoradionecrosis of the jaw. They would also develop bone sarcoma and leukemia. Osteosarcomas could appear in different skeletal elements, such as the femur, pelvis, cranium, mandible, humerus, scapula, and foot. They would also have severe anemia and pathological fractures secondary to osteosarcoma. According to Martland, radium poisoning could be classified into 2 types. In acute radium poisoning, symptoms as leukemia, severe anemia, and osteonecrosis of the jaw would emerge not long after exposure, and it was highly deadly. While in chronic radium poisoning, symptoms would slowly develop 5 to 15 years after exposure. Few women filed lawsuits. Initially, their legal process lacked support, as their reputation was smeared by accusations that it was a hoax, as they were healthy, or that they had syphilis and not radium poisoning. With time, public outcry started to amount in favor of the victims, which led them to ultimately win the lawsuit, although their monetary compensation was smaller than they expected and deserved. Nevertheless, their act of bravery helped to save other women from going through the same debilitating suffering. It also led to new safety regulations, and radium necrosis was finally recognized as an occupational hazard. If you like this video, subscribe to never miss a video by BioanthroStudies.